You guys want to open up for some questions?
You guys all freaked out about the cardio and everything now?
Yeah. Yeah, let's want to let the box go around. You guys want to open up?
So you somewhat alluded to this already, but I have a serious issue with plateauing. How do I overcome that?
Okay, then I would have to ask, are you doing cardio every day?
Every day, no, but probably 4 times a week.
6 days, 5 days?
If I'd say 4 days a week, I do cardio.
And how long you been doing that?
Oh, gosh, years.
Okay. All right, and then like carbohydrates, is that something you eat or stay away from?
I'm Italian. I can't stay away from carbs.
There we go.
All right. I mean, I probably eat carbs. Not a significant amount, but.
Okay. Let me explain a couple things. One thing, there's a difference between eating healthy and eating right. Okay, eating healthy is the person that has the fish and the vegetables and a little bit of rice here and there, but doesn't do it at night and stays consistent throughout the day. That's eating healthy. The body is a different temple for everybody. Not everybody, because I can't tell you exactly what you need to do right now, but what I would do is I would back down. The gym and food are two amazing things. The gym is about going in and doing the least amount of work possible. It's kind of weird coming from me. The least amount of work possible, but still get better. Okay, so when I hear about and I think about the young kids, I'm in there for 3 hours and I'm crushing it and I'm going around and my heart rate's at 160 the whole time. That's working harder, not smarter. That's the person that's busy but not productive. Okay, do you understand the whole concept? This has to do with everything in life. And the gym is no different. It's even more so because of the fact that the body is made to protect you. And it is made to adapt to whatever circumstance. You go into the desert, it understands that it has to protect its body. It's got to keep the water on you as best it can for as long as you can. That's how the body. So if you think of the body as fighting against you at all times on what you want to do relative to what it wants to do. It wants to keep some body fat on you. It wants to keep the organs healthy, so there's got to be some fat around that. If you're in starvation, and I'm going to guess pretty much everybody in here is usually in starvation mode. So what the body will do is start eating your muscle. So when you get hungry, you think it's time to eat, correct? That's actually your body eating your muscle. That's hunger. And so at that point, it's already too late. It's satisfying itself. It's a crazy thing to think of, but that's how the body is. It's so magnificent, it will protect itself and feed itself off the energy. And that's why every year, you get a little bit more of a tummy, you get a little weaker, you start getting a little bit more achy. And those are some of the things. So the first thing I would do with somebody like you is I'd say, great, you're Italian. I'm gonna go eat. Mona's gonna wanna go eat with you as well.
Sweet.
We're gonna have some pasta.
Metabolism.
Right?
Jeez.
But we're gonna pull you off for 3 months of cardio.
Whoa.
That's scary, right?
Yeah.
Would you clean up your diet doing that?
I'm sorry, what?
Would you clean up the diet, make it a little bit better?
Oh, yeah, I wouldn't have any choice but to.
That's a great thing. That's a mindset right there. Because if you continue the one pattern, where you're always doing the same thing over and over again, you're just running yourself in the ground. The more you train, the more you do that and never come back to a starting position, you get injured, body shuts down, you make no more gains, you plateau. So the first thing I would say is let's get the body right, and that's for everybody in here. And that's me too. One thing that we do is we love the working out. And we can fix it by the calorie intake around us. We know enough to do that. But if I said, I want to genetically fix your body, mechanically, carbohydrates and everything, I would back everybody down. Does that make sense? So I would clean up your diet. I'd keep the carbohydrates in there. And I know with keto, right now is a big kick. Everybody's taking it out. Tough one.
Yeah. Good.
Thank you.
Who else? Questions? Mona, you want Mona? Mona, come on up too, and we'll leave a box up here for Mona. I'm gonna have Mona sit down. I'm gonna sit on a stool. No one wants to ask Mona questions, do they?
So,
you guys want to ask Mona some questions too? Yes or no?
let me explain something here real quick on this one.
Yeah, Mona belongs up here with us.
To give you an idea, when we were having our baby, we talked, and I said, I want to set you up to win, but I want to set you up to win down the road. And one of the things was superstar.
Yeah, you guys got to get a picture of that.
Come here, Mom.
Mona, go ahead and sit down. And let me give Tim. You want to? This is yours. You're going right here. Yeah, you guys sit right there.
We can
Tim,
mic him up.
Let's mic her up.
I'm gonna mic her up. I'll talk for a second.
Yeah, go ahead. Questions. Move it around.
Well, real
Go
quick
ahead.
before
There's
you
a question
do
back
this,
there. Here you go, Mom.
Let me explain something real quick before the question. What I would like you guys to do is be able to get to this kind of metabolism. So if you guys don't know my friend Heath Evans, you'll see him tonight. You guys can just leave when he starts talking. But something he's been able to do and she's been able to do is carbohydrates is longevity. Because carbohydrates is something that you can go up in and then take down in. And it doesn't change your body except for body fat. Okay? Carbohydrates is for energy. It's also for brain function. Okay, we good with that so far? And I was talking to a lot of people this morning, and your brain actually takes 50 grams of carbohydrates to function properly through a day. Now, I was talking to a lot of people today. Some people were on 25 grams of carbohydrates. So not even just for the brain, but for their body to function through the day properly. So you can see how the body's going to shut down and go to other resources to function. Now, something she does is she takes about 300 to 350 grams of carbohydrates a day.
I'm hungry.
And the great thing there is that she never went away and fell into the fad diets. Because fad diets, what they're going to do is anytime you change your body mechanics and how it uses carbohydrates, unless you're diabetic. Any diabetics? Okay. So anytime you change your body and run away from carbohydrates, and I know I don't want to scare you guys today, and we can talk about this more after. I got an app or anything like that. I have a huge support crew that I talk to everybody about nutrition weekly. So if you guys ever have questions, you can get that information. But what she's been able to do,
Yeah.
what she's been able to do is keep carbohydrates in her body, and that way her metabolism is still working. We had her tested. Her metabolism is as fast as a 12-year-old boy.
Poor girl.
Yeah, mine was 17 years old. Now, we're both elite athletes and we've been in this a long time, but that's absolutely crazy to me. Because remember back when you were in high school and junior high school, you could have pizza and you'd wake up the next day the exact same? That's the metabolism she's at. And what I try to do is I try to fix everybody that I'm working with, especially with age, because it gets tougher, but you can fix it. Like we were saying earlier, I'm 50 years old, and so I'm still healthy. I'm still as strong as the elites, and I'm the one guy that's still here doing this because I believe in the basic work. I don't do anything extremely fancy. I stay with, in your guys' sense, the phone calls and the interaction. I stay with the basic exercises and do the least amount of work possible, get in the gym and get out, and stay constant with the nutrition to where I'm not in a deficit 24/7 like most people. So with her, through the pregnancy, the great thing here was I said, hey, you're going to be an incubator, and we're going to feed you, and we're going to have this monstrous of a hybrid kid. Now, ego-wise, that's tough. She was Miss Universe, cover of the magazines. She's like, I'm cool with it. Let's do this. Because the one thing I didn't want to do is I didn't want to borderline the nutrition for the baby. I didn't want to go, well, if you're taking this much and this much, then the baby should be fine and mama's fine too. We said, no, we're going to take this on an off season. And the reason I'm telling you this is because this is how I would fix you as well. And so you got to understand how fast, when it's working, how fast you get in shape. And don't tell me that you're 30, 40, or 50. I work with 60-year-olds that I just did a 12-week transformation, and these guys look better than Mr. Universe.
Yes, amazing.
So this is 10,000 people I worked with. All had success. It's a mind-blowing thing. But when it's done right, it's quick and it's motivating and it changes things. So what we did is we took her calories up an extra 1,000 a day through the pregnancy. I stopped her training. Stopped 3 months prior to it. And we continued that way.
Yeah, I think that was the
off
only
cardio.
thing that bugged me, that I couldn't go to the gym because I love it. But other than that, I'm eating, bring it on.
So through the pregnancy, we kept her off of training. So this for you, you wouldn't go that extreme. Obviously, you would still work out, but you would take your calories up a little bit. And you would allow your body to recover and start functioning again. Just like, you know, you ever hear about weightlifting, how you should try to raise the weight to get stronger, to build more muscle? The calories and your food is the same way. As you get older, you take it away, right? That stops the metabolism, it slows it down. By continuing to eat healthy and throughout the day, that speeds it up. You fully understand that now? So when you starve it, it shuts down. When you feed it, it speeds up. So when you hear about these people going, well, I eat about 6 meals a day, small meals throughout the day. That person is continuously feeding and the metabolism stays up. And the other thing on top of that is water. Water, water, water. Actually is the #1 thing to keeping your metabolism moving fast. It's amazing. It's just water. We're 70% water. It helps the body. So go back to the point of drinking a lot of water, carry it around. It's one of those things that helps. But the next thing is, after she had the baby, all we had to do was drop 1,000 calories. That's all we had to do. And then slowly, was it a month after, she started working out again. So she's going to be on stage in November, I guess 6 weeks
that
away.
answers the question if you are competing again.
Yeah, it's just an appearance, so it's not. I'm not being compared
It's just an appearance
to
on stage in a
anybody.
bikini.
Yeah.
It's nothing.
So shred.
So the point was that she instantly, because the body came adapted to a higher calorie base with little work, and then she started back into the work and dropped the calories slightly, instantly kicked in, and she was back in shape in a month and a half. Okay, and she's not a 20-year-old, she's 22. So,
Good answer, Mike.
all right, I'm out of here. Done for the day. So it's the same principles. I would clean up your calories, I would take you off of the cardio, and then I would stay there until the body goes, I'm good again. And it's a beautiful thing when the body happens. When you start eating a little bit more and you start feeling a little like, okay, this is a little much. Your body after 10 days adapts to it, and you'll wake up one morning going, holy cow, I'm starving. It's like that. And if you really listen to your body, in health and fitness, they always say listen to your body. Really listen to your body on what's going on. You wake up every morning, I am beat down, I am tired. Maybe you're overtrained. The nutrition isn't on. You're not taking in enough calories. So that's how we worked with her. And that's pretty much everybody on health and fitness, trying to get those calories back in and trying to fix that again. And this is not me being a Mr. Universe saying I want you guys jacked. I have nothing about jackness. I am all about longevity, health and fitness, and again, range of motion.
Well, I think too, if you look at the people that wait 4 hours in line, what percentage of them are actually truly like fit, where you'd look at them and say, oh my God, they're killing it at the gym?
10% maybe.
Yeah,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah, really good.
What other questions? Let's go around. I think I see the box over there. Oh, where? Here we are. Go ahead, sir.
All right, so my question is, I guess you kind of started it out and you were like, man, I knew that I love this. Like I get up to the gym and I just love it whenever I walk through the door. What is the one thing, like I hate making phone calls, but I've got to do it. You know, just like I don't like it, but I know if I want to be successful that I got to do it and I got to get up and, you know, I got to somehow overcome that hump every day that I got to do it. So what was, you know, was there anything about getting to where you were at that was just a struggle every single day and you had to like retell yourself or have somebody, you know, keep pushing you or whatever to kind of keep doing it? Or was it just like, nope, not really, I loved it, and so there was nothing really that was a mental obstruction to, you know, getting where you are?
Well, if I told you I never missed a meal, and that means every 3 hours I've eaten for 41 years, would you believe it? Yeah, I have. And that is me. And at times it gets tough making sure I'm always eating. But the one thing I connect it to is the life I was living. And so I connect the phone calls to what's actually after that. So you make the phone calls, that gets you to the next level, that gets you to where you really want to be, financially or in business. So keep the eyes over here. Because I didn't think about, I don't want to do the meals. Kid, I'm being able to travel the world. I'm being able to do everything I ever wanted in life. But it all stems from stay on my meal plan, stay on my program, get my workouts in. So it's attached to something so much bigger.
Even right now, we have our cooler with food in it, right behind that table. so yeah, we carry food around on the plane, whatever we are. And we work with a company, Icon.
Pal.
Yeah, and they're awesome. Because we go every weekend or every other weekend, we travel, and they literally deliver the food at the hotel. They put it in the fridge for us. And yeah, it's that easy. And we just eat it cold or,
So
luckily a microwave, but yeah.
Yeah, the food for me is the phone calls. But it gives me so much more, and I keep it, that attachment.
Well, and Todd, here's the irony of that too. A few people here know Todd Abrams. Met Todd. He's in our ski crew. Mike says he's getting on a snowboard next year with us. He told us that.
Did I say that?
Yeah.
Oh. Is it on Instagram? If it's not on Instagram, it's not real.
Rez 50 said you said it.
It did say, yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
So I have two questions. The first one is, not all carbs are created equal, and you're saying, hey, make sure you're getting in those carbs. What kind of carbs are you suggesting?
Here's something going back to being Italian and loving pasta. Something I knew young is that I love food. And so I'm not going to stay away from this, that, or the other thing because society says bread is bad for you. Or don't eat any kind of gluten. Well, there's so much that tastes great with gluten. So the one thing that I learned is that everything is good if it's done properly in right places. So obviously, if you go to the extreme, I would say stay low glycemic carbohydrates like oatmeal, sweet potatoes, things that you could put in your body that will keep you satisfied longer and you're allowing to burn off quicker. But at the same time, after workouts, we need high glycemic carbohydrates, rice, a nice white potato, or some dextrose, some kind of sugar in a sense. So both come into play at certain times of the day. And for me to fix myself, because I actually have to be in condition to walk on stage in these little things, not little trunks, but you know, kids. So, all right, they're little trunks. Leave me alone. So, what I'll do is make sure the one thing that I go away from when I'm really getting sliced would be fruit. So the first thing I go back to, fruit. And the reason why is to teach the body again that this is a healthy sugar. And carbohydrates is sugar. Low glycemic, high glycemic. What works best for you. And then also, keep in mind that it's got to be around something you'll be able to do. No diet is good if you're not going to do it. So if you establish in, every Wednesday, Friday, and Sunday is pasta day, then Mona's happy.
My new best friend.
Awesome.
So yeah, I would. There's obviously carbohydrates. Play with what works for you, what's best for you, but try to get back at certain points to trying everything.
So one other question, I recently, actually Monday, watched the Game Changers,
Okay.
whereas they have, they talk a lot about the meat, dairy, and fish industry and the effects that that has on the body. And even Arnold is in that particular thing, and
He's doing
and
that
he
now.
switched his diet, and it's geared more towards these like athletes and people who are really very fit and pay attention to what they're putting in their bodies to operate at a high level. And so it's about switching over to a whole food, plant-based diet. And what are your thoughts on that?
I think if you want to try it, 100% try it. And I think for everybody in here, when it comes to a diet or a fad diet, try it for a period of time. Try to understand what it's doing and what it might not be doing. And the reason why I say that is because the only problem with that is bone density is the number one thing for getting older. When the bone density goes, you start losing, and that starts early. You know, you're 30, I know 30-year-olds that come in going, I got bad knees and a bad shoulder and this and that, and it just keeps deteriorating. Going away from the number one thing for great bone density is red meat. Doesn't mean you have to have it, but understand what you're giving up on the one side to the other side. And it breaks down from there. Like red meat's the greatest thing for muscle, keeping muscle, and the bone density and connective tissue. And then it breaks down lower and lower and lower, and it goes all the way down to plant-based. So you're still getting in protein. Just understand, no diet is perfect. This is giving up something over here, where this is giving up something over here.
Very good. Thank you.
Robert.
Yeah.
Would either of you be willing to just share in an average day? In other words, you're not getting ready to compete. What would you describe for us what your diet is on a typical day?
Mona's they're on an
diet,
airplane.
yes, my diet you would not want.
Yeah, Mona's, I mean, they're on airplanes. Mona's always got a smile on her face when there's food in front of her because she can eat.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would like you to get to this level relative to what I do, because I'm talking about you guys. I want to fix it. My metabolism, because I'm always dieted down, isn't functioning like hers. And like we said, so wait a minute, how does that make sense? I'm twice her size. I'm 270 pounds right now. She's 150. And I take in less carbohydrates than her, and I train more than her. So what I want you to do is listen to what I say you should do. I'm trying to, and one of the biggest things is, you think when you see a great body that's healthy. Well, it's healthy for that moment in a sense of he's lean and stuff. But the ultimate goal is to be more like this. Does this make sense, or am I confusing you guys?
You guys with it? Yes or no?
I'm over here trying to become the ultimate best, number one in the entire world, so I have to give up something. Where she's walking around being a superhero every single day, being able to eat breads throughout the day and before bed, and fruit before bed. She loves her red meats and her chickens throughout the day.
Oh, yeah, so to answer your question, I eat 6 meals a day, sometimes 7, because we get up at 3 a.m. to work out, so it's a long day. But I do with every meal, I throw carbs in there. So I do white rice, baked potatoes if I have them. I just throw them in the microwave, cook one, and mix it with whatever meats I have. And in the morning, I do 10 eggs. So it'll be like 8 egg whites and 2 whole eggs on top, and a cup of oatmeal. So yeah, so like all my meals, all 6 meals pretty much, have carbs. I eat a lot of rice with my meals.
And then her and Heath Evans will go out and get pink box donuts or Five
or
Guys.
in and out, yeah. It all depends how,
So what I would like you to do is be able to work back to where it's like this. For me, I'm steak and chicken throughout the day, rice throughout the day, and vegetables, and a couple protein shakes in there. So it's pretty basic. But again, like he was talking, last week I was in Abu Dhabi and Dubai on stage. Next week I'm on stage again. So I have to stay in such a low lean phase that I'm always dieting.
So,
That's
Mona, I'm just curious how many calories you take a day, and also what's the way, other than backing off of the exercise initially, to raise your metabolism?
So I never count
37.
calories.
I counted them.
You count, I don't count calories. I just
3,700
look in the
calories.
mirror and I go by my clothes. Like, okay, I like the way I look. I like-
3,700 calories a
But,
day for Mona.
Yeah, I don't do micros. I don't do fats, like how many fats I take in. You know, I do my egg whites. I'm like, I'm gonna have avocado with my egg whites. I'm a mixologist, so I mix all my foods. You know? Yeah. But I don't really. Yeah. Sometimes Mike is like, oh my God, you just ate way more than me today or whatever. I'm like, did I?
That's like every meal.
Yeah.
To answer your question about how to get your metabolism working, so that is a process. The main thing you got to realize is, are you doing things constantly that your body's come adapted to? Are you doing cardio every morning? You are. Tell me a little bit.
I run 5 miles.
Okay.
Keep the conversation going.
Wow.
Betsy, thank you.
I don't do any cardio.
I don't do any cardio.
Too much weight.
Okay. For all you women too, weightlifting is for bone density. That's why I recommend it, and it's also for shape. One of the big things is I had two guys to come to me. They were both 40 years old. One guy was running 3 miles a day, eating 3 meals a day, vegetables, fish, and chicken, a very light dinner, and a cup of oatmeal for breakfast with a protein drink. That's really healthy. And running 3 miles a day. The other guy came to me, great Italian guy, loved his wine, his pastas, he cooked, didn't train, didn't work out.
Nothing.
Who can change? The guy who was running 3 miles a day, and they were both 250 pounds, both 40 years old. Or the guy eating pasta every day. Who's going to change?
The guy eating pasta.
Yeah, I would think.
Because
He's never done anything before. So now when he's going to start working on his diet plus adding the exercising in there, he's going to see some.
you've never
crazy
seen a
results.
guy so angry. And it's like, this guy was the president of CBS at the time. He goes, and they're best friends. It's like me and Heath. He goes, how am I going to, wait a minute, this guy eats and drinks, doesn't work out. How am I in bad shape? You had changed your body. Your body has to do 3 meals a day of clean food and 3 miles of running every day just to stay like you're doing. With this guy, all he has to do is drop his wine and pizza. He doesn't even have to exercise
walk
yet.
from here to
And he
there.
already changes. That's how the body works. So my recommendation is jogging your meditation?
Yes, very much
Okay.
so.
So I fully understand that. You're with me. The lifting is my meditation. So we can't give that up. The one thing that, the number one sport that needs more protein than anything else, it's not bodybuilding, it's jogging. It's long distance jogging needs more because you guys burn and break down so much muscle. So the first thing I would say is keep the 3 miles because that's the one thing. I take that away, you're not gonna be happy. You take my lifting away, I'm not happy. So keep that in there, but start taking in more protein and make sure that you take in some carbohydrates and before and after your runs in the morning. Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
And when you wake up, do you instantly go for the run, no food?
No, I eat a power bar before.
Oh, I'm okay with that. I'm okay with something before you.
Yeah.
Here's a couple fads I'd like to just shut down. Or at least you understand going into it. If you do a keto diet or a low carbohydrate diet, that changes the body. And understand what those were developed for. A keto diet was developed for autism, not autism, sorry, for mind failure for older people. Okay? So when they started losing their minds, they tried to figure out a nutrition plan to help stimulate the brain. And fats do that. Low carbohydrates and high protein. So the diet was based on something like that. And it's also based on diabetics to keep it low carbohydrates. Okay, so now what does it do? It'll make you drop weight quick. Is that a good thing? Well, you want to get in shape fast, right? How you get in shape is how you have to stay. Okay, so if you did it and you did this extreme diet and you did 2 hours of cardio and you did no carbohydrates, now you got to kind of stay there because that's how you got there in those 12 weeks. On top of that, you changed your body from using carbohydrates. So as soon as you put carbohydrates, you gain it back 3 times as fast. You gain fat back 3 times as fast putting carbohydrates back in. Now they leave that part out, okay? Because it sounds great just doing the kind of fast diet. Take your time. And I know this is tough. And it's tough in business. You guys know that. Don't try to get in shape overnight. Don't try to fix the metabolism overnight. Take your time.
Hey, Justin, where's those donuts, man?
Yeah, where's the donuts? 350. Oh, for Heath Evans.
Any other question? Carmen. Yeah.
I'm someone, I eat a lot of food. You can ask Justin, and I'm always hungry. Like I wake up starving. So do you guys, am I understanding correctly, you guys never feel hungry? You're always ahead of it
no.
and eating?
I'm always hungry. I'm hungry
Okay.
before I go to sleep. I'm hungry when I wake up. I'm hungry.
Yeah, okay.
And
But
I
then
eat.
you eat throughout the day and then always, okay.
I recommend this, because you're already in good shape. You worked out
Yeah,
this morning.
yep.
You can get a little bit more muscle development to give more shape if you want. And what I would do is I would play with your nutrition, and I would change it every 2 weeks and try to raise some of the protein, some of the carbs over the first 4 weeks, and then remove it slowly. And watch the change to the body over the time. Instead of just staying the same, it's the whole concept of, well, I'm maintaining. There's no maintaining, sorry. You're always getting older. Always getting older. So unless you're trying to get better, it's getting worse. So I would start playing with the nutrition and start learning for yourself, where's my calories? Okay, I'm starting to get a little stronger. Stronger means muscle. And if you're more satisfied, and then take it away.
I'm going to break my rule here, but I think you guys would want to know anyways. So your fitness app, which has workouts, nutrition, men, women, it doesn't matter what level. Is
Correct.
it good for everyone? Okay.
10,000 people that just did my Titan Challenge were from the ages of 18 to 62 was the woman, was our oldest. It was men and women, and it was heart patients, it was diabetics, it was vegans, it was, there was so much, it was everything in the woodworks.
Where do they, what is the...
Mike O'Hearn.
Just go to MikeO'Hearn.com and then the drop down.
Boom.
The app is a FitPlan app, but you'll find that in
Mike
his
O'Hearn.
bio,
Yeah.
So go to the MikeO'Hearn.com website.
FitPlan,
FitPlan.
yeah.
You guys find it?
Mike O'Hearn.
There's a user of it. And Mike, you're in it, Novak, right? Oh, you guys are all in it. Okay, there's
there you
already
go.
some users.
There you go.
Yeah, awesome. Go ahead.
I just
Mike.
had a couple quick questions too, really. So I've seen The Rock's cheat meals, fucking epic. You know, like hundreds of pieces of sushi, boxes of pizza. When you're not competing, do you do cheat meals or not?
So here's again a fad thing. People will come to you and go, well, I've dieted all week, so I get to have a fun day Sunday. Cheat meals are actually something that we called back in the day as a high day, and it is to spike the metabolism. So, and here's a great thing. Let's say that you are on point all week long, 6 days a week. Here's some fun for you guys. And you go, okay, then I can have, you're great on the diet, you're great on the training, and it comes to Sunday, and Sunday, let's say you burn off 3,000 calories a day for you. That's what it is. Let's say you cheat and you have 3,100, or you have 7,000 calories. Would the one person get fatter from that 7,000 that day compared to the one that just did 100 over?
I would think so.
Anybody? Absolutely not. Again, your body is smart enough to understand that you've treated me perfect all week long. This day is a high day. I'm going to spike my metabolism. It shoots through the roof. Your body gets rid of the stuff it doesn't need, keeps what it does. And that's why The Rock, where other people can have a cheat day or a high day, or Heath Evans every day, or Mona every day, is that it spikes the metabolism that much. And I'll go from 200 grams of carbohydrates to 1,000 grams of carbohydrates for the one day. Wow. And it's a high day. Now, the reason you do this is because the body actually shuts down by eating correctly. So going back to plateaus, if you eat correctly all the time, even if you're eating perfect, your body will still get to a point where it plateaus and goes, I get what you're doing, I'm with you, but now we're gonna stay here. That's when you have the meal that spikes it again and kicks it back into gear.
Got it. That makes sense.
Denise, Mike, are you good? Yeah, pass it on to Denise there.
Oh, okay.
I really don't even want to ask this question because I don't think I want to know the answer, but how does alcohol play into all of this stuff?
Next,
Now I'm going to shut my ears.
Not well.
says the sober guy. When's the last time you had a drink, Mike?
I mean, you
Ever?
hear like a glass of wine a day or two is not a big deal or whatever, but like, I mean,
Asking the wrong
truly.
guy.
So here's alcohol. Again, go back to how special your body is. It's a toxin to the liver and kidneys. And so what the body will do is it will shut down how the kidneys and liver are functioning or utilize protein until it cleans itself out. And that's usually a 48-hour period. So the whole step forward, 2 steps back, I've been perfect all week. Compared to the cheat meal or high day, you've been perfect all week and then you get blitzed on Saturday. Now there's a difference between alcohol and having a glass of wine. A small amount is fine.
I have a glass of wine here.
She
and
does.
There, sometimes. He's
But if you
never.
go a little bit harsher or something, your body has to clean out the toxins. And while it's cleaning out the toxins, it will shut down the utilization of protein.
Did you ever try alcohol? Tell them.
I never did alcohol.
Never
Not even a sip.
tried, not even taste alcohol. I've been
But
trying.
I was an odd guy.
Just trying to get him drunk.
Forget any drugs in this guy. He doesn't even want to drink alcohol.
You'd end up being a lightweight, like a half a beer. You'd be like,
I'd be done.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be the guy
Alex,
at the
go
bar.
ahead.
Yep. So both nutrition as well as exercise for somebody that has really low VO2 max, really bad breathing problems is half of what normal is. Any tips on something other than HIIT?
Oh, I'm not a fan of HIIT.
Okay.
That's my personal choice. The reason why is weightlifting does so much more. And again, I think when people say weightlifting, they think I don't want to get muscular and stuff. I'm talking about connective tissue and bone density, and I'll always go back to that because that's health. And if you can stay injury-free and you can stay youthful with your body inside, you can keep working. Does that make sense?
Sure.
So I would give everything, and I only got one fight in me a day. So I'll go in, spend everything I got on the workout. So when it comes to cardio, I don't have enough energy to do a HIIT cardio. And all I want to do really at that point, because I just burned off all the glycogen, is get on cardio and just put my heart rate around 128 to 135. And that way I'm instantly burning fat. But I'll also have enough energy to do that. So the one thing that I would always try to stay away from is going extreme on every aspect of life in that sense. And that's what people are doing with HIIT cardio. You come in, you train this hard, but then you get to cardio and you're ballistic as well. It's like, holy cow. We're not 20 forever. And that's the mindset that I'm a beast. I'm getting ready for the NFL combines. Back it down. Less
So
is more.
I do no cardio
Yeah.
right now, but I'm just trying to get my breathing up because when we do this hike tomorrow, that's going to be my biggest struggle. Luckily, there's a lot of people doing it, so it'll
I'll
go
carry you,
slower.
homie.
Yeah. No worries. I want to do it on my own, but I do. I have I had severe asthma as a child, so it affected my lungs. But I've never broken through that, and I've been trying to. So I don't know if there's things in nutrition, certain things that I'm eating that could help me with
There's more white
shortness
blood
of breath.
cells. So the one thing I would do is I would try to do some cardio after you work out, but I'd put it on a 15 incline and walk slow. And watch your heart rate, how fast it climbs. Compared to getting on and jogging. Some people love jogging. You're an odd bird. You can listen. I jogged so much, and she did it too. She was a long distance runner. It is so peaceful at times, right? And that's what I find from the weightlifting. But the one thing that I found with cardio, if you're trying to burn fat, slow and steady. Slow and steady does it. And so for you, mostly to build up the oxygen is a 15 incline, walking maybe even at 2 miles an hour, but lunging it. And for anybody in here, to have a healthy heart, 3 days, 20 minutes. 3 days and 20 minutes of cardio. keeps a healthy heart. It is the strongest muscle you possibly have. And it's a brilliant thing that will keep working. But that's as much as you need for a healthy heart.
Let's go. They've been so gracious with their time. We'll go one more question, Bill, here.
Okay. By
And
the
it
way,
better be good because you got to end strong.
this will be amazing. But anyways, met them this morning. They were so gracious. I had no idea who they were. And they said, he's a big deal. Okay, well, let's get a selfie. But anyways, so humble, super fun. But my question is, you talk about flexibility and doing that. What is the best way that you found to maintain your flexibility as you get older?
Is to continue weightlifting, but with a range of motion that is odd. So the one thing that I notice is when you do something repetitive in the same position, you ever see these guys, they'll go in and they'll squat the same, and they'll squat the same for 10 years. I can change their position on a squat, even if they squat 600 pounds. Like today, you'll meet Heath Evans, played 10 years in the NFL. He could come in, squat 600 pounds. I moved his feet inside, wanted to have him point his knees forward. It dropped down to 275, and he'll tell you the story. So his strength went away, correct? So it's the range of motion and continuously trying different things. And this morning when I took some of you guys through the workouts, you guys saw that I was doing things differently when we're doing side laterals, which is typical. This is a side lateral movement, right? Where I'll do rotations, hands out, hands up, or full range, because that's more important to me, full range of motion. And by doing that and then stretching afterwards, that keeps the flexibility. I do martial arts, so I do a lot of stretching during that time. But yeah, yoga's great. And you can take your shirt off, so that's cool.
I mean, don't just do yoga. Like, you could incorporate yoga.
Yeah. Yoga's great, incorporate it in. But stretching is great, but always stretch after you're warm, not before.
Awesome. Thank you guys so much.
Man, you guys rock.
Mike and Mona, appreciate you.
Whoa. Love you. Oh, wait a minute.
Sure, you two flexing, right?
Also, this is for you. I saw you were wearing a watch earlier.
Oh, wow.
When you work out, so I brought you a little something.
Oh, right on. Cool.
Love, kid. Love
I
you.
need a picture of them flexing.
Oh.
Okay. So go ahead. Mona, man, she always throws me. Yeah, here we go.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks so much.